in today's session, we'll continue our network automation with the Python and GNS, or let's say Python and the network. Okay. Yesterday we learned how can we set up the lab with the GNS, with the cloud, and that cloud allow us to configure or connect our physical computer interface into logical router of the GNS, and that cloud in our physical interface visible as a loopback interface, as we see that. Okay, your name is Ethernet 4, but it is loopback interface, not a fast Ethernet or gigabit like that. And the other things what we need to understand, that library concept. We no need to create separate coding to take telnet or any remote access control. Okay, but automatically that library we learn that telnet lib, that library automatically able to done that task. And you also learn about that read and write concept yesterday, so we can able to read the available input, available written text in the console, and according that we can type the command or we can write the command. So let's go forward. Let me open the yesterday file, not library. So we done simple this thing, network automation with the variable. Last I showed you this, that you can use the variable name instead of manually writing. So before going ahead, in this script, anyone have any single doubt, any confusion, you can ask, otherwise simply write down clear. So we'll go forward. Yesterday we learned that, but still, if you try to do practice, find something, problem, interruption, whatever the things, you can tell me. Everybody clear? Great. So let's go directly forward with the new concept. So yesterday I told you that instead of typing username here manually, we can use the variable. Now today we'll focus more things. What that? Let's say I want to take an input of that ID and password. I don't want to use the read concept, that read this or type password automatic, because maybe what happened, let's say we have different device, and that different device maybe have different ID, different password. Okay, so every time I want that this script I can use everywhere. That means what? That format I want to keep it here, but username it will not take here, but it will ask that type your username. It will ask what is your password. Like let's say in real scenario, when we take telnet, it will asking, we type manually ID password and then telnet running. Same thing, let's say I want to do with this script, that directly it will not take username and password, but it will ask. And same thing, directly it will not take IP address, it will ask. So today we need to main focus on the customization, and that customization will give you loads of automation concept. Okay, so today logical concept we need to understand. Yesterday we focus on the practical. Today again we need to understand some logical concept, that how this script running. You already know how it is running, but now I want to modify this script, not only all the written manual concept, but I want that it will ask the things, and everywhere I can use that script by asking the question. Okay, so let me see here, just let me open that. I want to check that yesterday I save or not. So interface, sorry, IP interface break. So IP is there, 10.10.10.1 loop. And section line VTY. So you can see telnet configure here, but what? With normal telnet and password, okay, not a username and password. So let me edit that username is, let's say today we'll use username as, let's say, admin. Okay, and then let's say password, let's say admin password, I'm talking A123, and then I will go to line VTY 0 local. So next time it will ask the username and password both, and just verify manually. So let's go to the putty and try to take access. So I want to take telnet of 10.10.10.1 with the port number 23. Open. So you can see it is asking for username. Username is admin and password is A123. So I'm in the R1 enable, and enable password is again 123. So I'm in the release mode and configure the render. So it is working. Okay, my system able to take telnet of this GNS router. So now What I need to do? I want to modify this script that don't ask username and don't put here. So I don't want to put this username manually, automatically here, but I want that it will ask. So what we use here? Row input for the input. We learn already. And then here type the username to that telnet and also maintain the format. So what I do /n. So we'll write in the downside what hasn't finished. So I hope everybody remember this concept that this row input will ask for the input and whatever it will store here, it will automatically store in the username and whatever name we type, that name will store here and that username automatically reflect here. Just confirm that input concept is clear. Write down input in the chat box. You already done, but I'm just verifying that you are remember or not. And it also will do that. That take a row input. I don't want to type manually every time, but I want that it will work as a customize. So this script I can use everywhere. So row input here, what I do? Again, type the password and /n. So I will go slowly. One by one, I will explain all the things. Right now, I only do these two changes and let me save as. So now network automation with telnet and not variable but customization, and that is our lab number 5. So now let me try to take telnet. Rest of thing is same. Okay, you can see what it will do. First, it will ask the username. So whatever username and password is there, then it will try to take telnet. Okay, then read here. So whatever user will type, that data will store in this username and this username will automatically sort here. So when it background router will asking username, it will put here and password it will put here. Then again here 1, 2, 3. So let me ask this also, that not automatic but manually. We'll do it later, but right now let's do this. Rest of thing is same. Okay, let me start with the one. So let's say here we'll use simple 11, 3, whatever. No, right now let it be. Our focus is this customization. Just save and let me run. So you can see it is asking now. Type the username to take telnet. So let's say username is I typing wrong right now. Intentionally I typing wrong. Anything. Now it is asking for the password. I'm typing anything. So what happened? It will not able to take telnet, obviously. Now this username and password will not satisfy this condition. So my script will stuck here. And you can see in background it will try, you know that. Multiple time we try. If we not put the ID password, it will wait. So you can see login invalid. Then other script they try to run. Password is wrong. Then it will try to run this configure terminal. And that configure terminal you can see here. Because what? Because of this concept that whatever we do, let me show. Then login invalid, and we are not able to log in. But now let me run again. And now I'm typing right username. So username is admin and password is A123. So you can see my configuration running completely successfully. Configure terminal, going to loopback, creating loopback. This is configured by the Python and end and exit. And you can see here that someone taking the access and line protocol loopback 113 up because we configure loopback 113. And you can check do so IP interface brief. In the last, we found that 11.3.3.3. Okay. Now what we do, we just do this customization option. Now let me do the pure customization that it will also ask for the IP address. What IP address you want to configure, which interface you want to configure. Okay. So let's say right now I put this IP address manually. Rest of thing let it be. So here I don't write this manually. I will remove this. Instead of that, I will just space. Okay, IP space address space, and here I will plus, and I will use the IP, and then again space because in our command we require space, and here I will put another variable that is what subnet mask. Let's say SM, and what we do, these two variable will again put here. What IP address you want to configure, what subnet mask you want to configure, and that automatically put here and our script will run. So now here what IP is equal to, again you can take a row input Now again, it is all about the logic. Otherwise, the thing is same. Type the IP address and then here SM. Whatever you can put here, that same we require here, and type the subnet mask. And here is a grammar. Let's say type the IP address. So now everything is in here, and this script now I can use anywhere. No doubt interface is same. So we can use variable also for that. But let me show you this is running or not. So save.
So IP address you have given /n. So it will go into the new line for subnet mask, right? So it will be error there.
Sorry, come again.
In the IP address after IP address you have given /n. So it will go to the new line so that after and the subnet mask.
Yeah, thanks. We not require /n here. This /n for what? It is for only enter. It will not take in the input. Keep in mind. Okay. So here I will put or not put. It will not affecting here. This what? It will ask in the question and will able to input in the new line. That's why, nothing else. Otherwise, in the input, what we are typing, that will take. Okay. Not confused with the /n. This lesson for what? When they typing this keyword, type the IP address, then it will put in the new line. So we are able to type in the new line, nothing else. So now let's save this and run this. So asking for the username. So let's say username is admin. Asking for the password. Let's say A123. Type the IP address. Let's say I want to configure IP address. That is 113.1.2.3. Type the subnet mask, let's say 255.255.255.0. And then what I type, that IP address configure here, you can see. And rest of thing is my script. So till now it is easy to understand. Write down UND in the chat box. So now we try to make a customization in our script. So we'll make one simple format and rest of thing will configure automatically. UND, okay, everybody able to understand? Good. And don't forget that we are able to see this command here because of this last line. This entire script will work, and in the last line, whatever the variable done by this TV, that will printing here, and that's why we can see that what that variable done. Okay. Now let's say make it little bit more good. So everywhere you don't have this, obviously. Every time you don't have this Python idle. What actually in real-time work, real-time only Python file is there, we'll double click and it will also run in the normal command. So let me show as a normal command so you can easily understand it is a real console. I'm going to command and then Siri, I want to go in the file where we have this file in the Python 27. So go out from the user also and then go to the Python 27 and here we have NFD, your base folder, and here you can put the dir so you find the whole file list. This whole Python file is here. In real scenario, networking guy will not run the Python like this. We are right now learning Python, so we using this Python idle. Otherwise what? Already automation concept and script is there. We just need to run from the CMD. So now let me show that from the CMD. So what I do here, just use the Python keyword. So the file will treat as a Python and then put the file name. What is that file name? You can see here in the upside. NA with telnet customization lab 5. This is our file and run here. So you can see it is asking here, type the username. Because what I told you in the beginning, first session of the Python, that it is an open platform, open source, you can run anywhere, cross platform. So now it is running in my command also. It is asking for the username. Now let's say username is again admin. It is asking for the password. Password is what? A123. Type the IP address. So now let's say I'm configure 113.113.113.113. Just example. Type the subnet mask. So 255.255. Let's say class B I'm putting. So you can see now it is configured like then everything I can see here that this work will done in the background. Configure terminal, interface this, and then 113 configure with the class B kind of /16 subnet mask, and this is configured by Python. And you can see here, the console. Now we not find the loopback because what? Already loopback 113 is there. but you can verify the IP address. Previously it is this 113333, and now you can verify again. It's there. So now every time I will not show you, because we know that if the file is working and we see the output, that means command is already done. So now we'll not do this thing every time. It is working. Okay. So let me close this screen and also close this. Okay, this is normal Python, so let it be. Okay. So now if you notice one thing here, that when I take actually telnet, that means I try to take telnet from the put T again. When I take actually telnet, 10.10.10.1 and port number 23 open. So it is asking for username, admin. It is asking for password, that is A123. So if you notice any changes here, then tell me what is the difference taking this telnet or taking this telnet. If you notice,
it is not in enabled mode.
no, enable mode, because we are running command here already.
Password is not visible here.
Security issue. Here, whatever password we are typing, it is here easily visible. And if anyone are beside us, let's say according hacking effect or shoulder surfing, someone watching, or whatever the things, then password is visible. While here, when we are asking for the password, that password is not visible. Okay. Enable mode also there. There is not a wrong. Okay. It is also right. Enable mode also not there. But we are typing that directly according to GNS concept. So now the thing is what? Let's say I want to do that things. That means here also I want that in my script, if I type the password, then it is not visible. So for that, we need to do simple one extra library we need to use. So I will use here import, and here I'm using getpass. Getpass is what? Get password. So now this library will give the option that it will take the password in the hidden way. That means you will type here, but it is not visible like a original scenario. Okay, again, we no need to type any coding. This library already having background coding, and it will provide the security, and the password is not visible. So let me show you one sample. So you can see here, this, which yesterday I just put the hash that I would not want to use that. So I can say get pass this library, and then what we do, whenever it is asking for password, so we'll not use the actually raw input, because this raw input will simply ask you, and whatever we type that is visible. But instead of that, we'll directly use that from the getpass library, use the getpass function. So what we do here, I import this library, and now in this password, I will not use regular input function, but instead of that, I will use that getpass library, and in that getpass function. So this function already have all the script in background with this library. So it will asking for the password, and that password is not visible. Everybody able to understand the concept? Write down yes or no.
Yes.
Yeah.
So getpass is a model in which
yeah. This is library, in that you can found this function or module. Okay. So this will allow us to type password with the hidden character. So now let me save this separate, because here I want to show lots of other things. And now what I do, go to the CMD. Now I will do all thing in the CMD. The CMD font is visible, everyone, or need to do big? Need to increase the size?
Yeah, please increase the size a little bit.
No.
That is visible for me.
Okay, now. Okay, now it is good.
Yes.
Okay. So now I want to run the another file, Python, and then this getpass I want to run. So now you can see, type the username to take telnet. Again, I will take the admin. And now you can see automatically password. I not write that keyword. Automatically password keyword pop up and asking for password. And I'm typing A123, but it is not visible. Enter. Type the IP address. Let's say 1.1.3.3, whatever I'm taking. And subnet mask, let's say 255.255.255.255. So you can see my program is running. Now I don't need to type that print keyword separately. You can see this file. Then here I want to type row input and I want to specify that type the username to take telnet. Here I not type any keyword, but in background, this library already have the whole function that it will asking for the password keyword, and whatever I type here, it is not visible. That means now it is same to same, look like original things. And if you want to put the original, all the things here, so let's make it simple this here. Only username, not a slash n, colon and a space. Save and run again. No need to run here, just close that. I will run here, so it can look like easy. So you can see asking for the username, that is admin. Same to same like we are taking original telnet. And password is A123, which is not visible. Now asking for the IP address, let's say 1.2.3.4 and 254.0.0.0. So it will configure. My script is running. So it is look like a properly concept. So these small kind of things we need to understand, and our automation will become more and more better. Okay. Just keep in mind this password, I will not mention that use this kind of keyword. It is already in this library, but normal row input, I want to specify that what kind of keyword it is. So now let's say.
Sorry to disturb you. And the exam also, we will get this Python idle, or we will have to configure out by using some editor, the command line.
You are asking about other language?
No. I'm just asking about the exam, lab exam. Lab exam, we will get that Python idle to configure the.
In lab exam, there are no any configuration we require. There are only all the graphical stuff. We just need to select the icon for right option. In background, automatic configure. Automation concept, you don't need to create script in the real scenario for the exam. Okay. This is for learning for the future use. Let's say you are doing CCNP or CCI, whatever. Then you take the job already, or maybe you are already professional and you want to configure this automation stuff in your running environment. Then it is useful to running the script. Otherwise, in exam, right now it is not asking any question. Okay.
Nikunj, how these are going to help in the production when we have the multiple switches in the production? Just give me some idea that.
I'm coming on that step by step. Let me finish one proper module with the whole customization. Then I will go for multiple also. Yesterday also I told you, no worries. Okay. So now let's say what still we found missing here. That script is asking directly username. How I know which router we are taking telnet or for what it is asking username? So let's make it more better where we can get informed something. So what I want that first, before asking the username, I want that it will ask me that which router or which device do you want to take telnet. That means now what? Now this IP also I will not put manually. I will use here username. Let's say what? Telnet, or let's say remote device. It is yours. Okay, whatever username, sorry, not username, but variable name you can use. Remote device. And this remote device I will take as a variable here. And now make it more better way. That row input. And here I will specially write manually that type the IP address, or let's say type the remote device IP address to take telnet /n and bracket finish. So now what happened? In the beginning, it will give you this prompt that type the IP address to take telnet. So whatever IP I will type here, that IP address will put here. And so we know that, okay, we want to take telnet of this. So that device username I need to type. Here I don't know. Right now, let's say I run one script manually. So I know that it is R1. So I'm typing admin. Let's say different router, different device, different username. How I know this is the username asking for what? So this kind of more customization we require. Now let's save that separately, because here now we learn multiple things also. So let's say lab 6. And now what I do here, just type the lab 6. So you can see, type the remote device IP address to take telnet, and I will type here the 10.0.1 10.10.1. So I know that I want to take telnet of this device. So it is asking for username. Username is admin. Password is A123. Then what IP address you want to configure? Let's say 1.1.1.1 and subnet mask, let's say 255.0.0.0. So now this has become proper format. That first it will ask which device you want to take telnet. You can use that kind of question also. Okay. Which device you want to take telnet? Type the IP address. Then type the username, type the password, and it's done. Okay. So now proper format is done here. Let's say username, it will also asking for the interface. Then I can use this. Now I don't need to stress this topic. Whatever the value you found here, that it is not command. Whatever command, let it be. Whatever command, let it be. Okay. But wherever you find the input, you can take as a variable and your script become customized. So till now, everything is clear. Write down CA, clear all. So now we'll go to the multiple device. CA, clear all. Okay. Every student, multiple student is clear. So file. And now let's save the separate file for the multiple device. So in order to it.
You share these Python files? These Python files, will you share with us?
I can able to share, but if I say then no what happen, it's become spoon feeding, you not do the practice. But if you try manually, then it will good for you. Otherwise, I can share also, there is no issue. But if you create manually by watching the video or by practicing, then it is good for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, whatever PPT I cover, that I already share. But Python, this script, I suggest that create manually. So now let's say I want to use network automation. Okay. By mistake, I give it no other name, no worry. And now what I want, that I want to configure for multiple device, not for the one device. So now understand, let's take a multiple device. So now what I do, instead of directly connected, I will connect with the switch. So let's remove this cable and then take a switch. And let's say right now we have multiple device. Let's say I'm taking 4 more router, that means become 5. Or let's say only 3 of that auto. If we do in the 3, then also it is able to done in the 4, 5, everyone. No need to make it long. Then I will configure the other thing also. Right now, let's say I'm configure this like this. And whatever the switch, there are noise. Okay, we don't need to focus right now in the switch interface because it is local network. You know that. So receiving port 0/1, 0/1, 0/1. What the requirement told you that whatever device you want to configure with the network automation, that device require the telnet configuration. So let me start this. And also let me start this. Router 2. I'll write in the notepad because everything mostly same here for the local concept. So let's say configure terminal, then interface, pass Ethernet 0/1, IP address same series because our computer network is on this series 10.10. Let's say the router 2, and then no shutdown, exit, then line VTY 024, and again login local. Before that, let me create the username. And don't confuse why username everything same, because you know that in the real scenario also network admin is the same. It's not like every router configured by different admin. One router, one admin. So mostly whatever the authorized person, that is same. And password is again I'm putting A123. And also we require enable password for the other telnet because what enable then configure. So we'll configure your enable password also. That is, let's say 123 right now. And here then line with UI 024 login local, and then again exit. So this is the command for what? Router 2. Copy router 2, done. And for router 3 what? Only this. Rest of things, yeah. Just try to do the ping from the PC 10.10.10.2. I am pinging, and 3 reachable, 4? Obviously not. We don't have 4, but just verifying that it is actually going to the GNS router, what IP we configured. So you can see now 4 will not getting reply. So here the thing is done. Now what we do, if I want to configure multiple device, so what we know that these all things it will do the same time. You know that whatever command I want to run in router 2, router 1 mostly look like the same. If I want to run the OSPF in router 1, so in the router 2 also I want to advertise that same network with the same OSPF. If I running EHP, then same AS number. So format is mostly same. So what I do now? Now I will do the changes here. This is the things that it is asking for the device, then asking for the username and password. So what thing we need to repeat? All these things. So I'll make it in the loop. Loop for what? For multiple things. Then what? Obviously, everywhere we need to configure different IP address. So make it this. It is also in the loop. Then password, it is mostly same. So let me make it outside. And IP address, every time we changes because we different IP address. Or we can use the loop also, but that loop I will do later. So this whole thing I require, okay, on every device. And now let me run here for any username, sorry, not username, any variable name, let's say VN, variable name. Okay, in range, what? 3, because we have 3 devices, so let's say range 3. Okay, if we don't know multiple, let's say we want to configure only 1 device, 5 devices, I can use that whole question. I will give the answer, but right now let's say we'll manually writing the 3 and colon. So what happened? All this thing will run 3 times. It is asking 3 times, run the command 3 times, and output will 3 times. Okay, asking this first. So let's make it easy. Okay, again here what happened? Directly it will ask the username and password. Again the same thing. That for what it is asking. So here I will separately, specially putting the one print statement. So it is become good format. Otherwise, this print statement no any effect in our program. Okay, just for the good format. That welcome to automation file, or let's say program, automation program, automation configuration program. Okay, and then another print statement I am putting that please type the authorized detail for go ahead or for configuration, whatever grammar according that you can use anything, just for the good format. Otherwise, if I remove this, there is no issue. But why we write this? So you can understand, okay, why this username and password it is asking. So now understand how script works. When I run this script, it will first show me this message, show me this message. Then it will asking for the username. Then it will asking for the password. And then what happen? It will get into the loop. And here it will asking for the IP address, that what IP address you want to configure. Then it will ask for the IP configure address. Type the IP address. Let's now specify that 22 IP address. So let me say, type the IP address for interface. And if you want to make it both at the same time, then I will use the one also. Let's say I want to do same two things, only one things, IP address and subnet mask, both in the one variable. Okay, and here what? Only one. Then also okay. What happened? Now it will asking for both, so I will write at the same time. It is your choice. The previous thing also right. This is also right. As I told you that in programming, there are always multiple ways, not only programming, but in the networking also. We have multiple solutions. How you want to use, that is your choice. So till here. So IP address, then whatever you type here, IP address something, it will put here and then /n. Now let's say I want to put this also, it is asking for the interface also before that. So what I do here, interface as a variable. And here I will put that interface. And here let's say this interface value. And here I will use again this kind of format. I want to use everything. That type the interface number, or let's say not directly type, but let's make it grammar wise. So which interface you want to configure. So you're asking about the interface, it will put here. So now all things become automatic. So you can see now the script, and let me save, and I'm running here. Okay, before running, any confusion here? I do multiple changes, but I'll do step by step. So it is easy to understand. Write down UND before I run that. If not able to understand, feel free to ask, because now step by step daily it is become a little bit more bigger and maybe level increase. So what I do the small changes. That previously we asking for two separately IP address, separately subnet mask. So I make it one. Directly put here. So we have normally habit the IP address space subnet mask. So we'll put directly in the one. Then let's say every time I don't need to configure interface loopback 113. So what happened? Interface command already there. It will only asking for the which interface you want to configure. So we'll use that either fast Ethernet, gigabit, whatever. And this all I make in the loop. And in beginning, it will show the welcome message, and then it will asking for the username password. Then the whole thing will configure automatic. So now with the Python, let me run that automation lab 7. So you can see, welcome to the automation configuration program. Please type the authorized detail for go ahead, username, admin, password A123. So type the remote device IP address to take a telnet. So let's say 10.10.10.1. Which interface you want to configure? Okay, grammar mistake, you can ignore. So let's say I want to configure fast Ethernet 0/0. So type the IP address and subnet mask for interface. So let's say I'm configure here 192.168.1.1 255.255.255.0. So this configuration done. You can see it will go to the interface fast Ethernet 0/0, configure the IP address, then exit. And now you can see type the remote device IP address to take telnet. Second time it is asking, now I want to take telnet of 10.10.10.2. Which interface you want to configure? Let's say I want to configure here loopback 123, or let's say router 2. So let's say loopback 2 I want to configure. Type the IP and subnet mask. So let's say 2.2.2.2 with the 255.255.255.0. Then you can see this is configured interface loopback 2 IP address subnet mask and exit. Then again asking type the remote device and IP address to take telnet. Let's say I want to take 10.10.10.3. Which interface you want to configure? Let's say here fast Ethernet I want to configure, or you can use gigabit serial, whatever. But let's say right now continue with the loopback. Let's say 3, and type the IP address and subnet mask. So it is running the loop. So let's say 3.3.3.3 with the subnet mask. So you can see it is configured like this way. And now script stop, and you can check the old router screen. Configuration done. Do show IP interface brief. So here what fast Ethernet 00. You can see fast Ethernet 00 configure. Okay, no shutdown will miss. Other command will miss because we focus on the loopback, so no shutdown is missed. So it is down, but IP address configure. And router 2, you can see. Yes.
My question is, if you are giving this script to some of the engineer who need to configure, so sometimes they might know there is a 5 routers or 3 routers. So we have given range in the script, and it is running for 5 times or 3 times. Sometimes that in the site have only 3 routers or 2 routers. How they will stop this script?
So if you focus in the class, then I already told you in the beginning that what router, how many router, I will explain. Right now we'll focus with the 3 router. Otherwise, we can use while loop condition. How many router you want to configure? Condition, not the for loop. We explained that for loop for what? Continue range, and while loop for the condition. So I will explain all that also. Just be with me. In the beginning, when I start this topic, I already told you that obviously every time we not have same 3 router. We have 5 router, we have only 1 router, depends. So we'll configure that also. Okay, so focus here. Router 2 already configured loop deck 2. You can and see router 3 also. So router 3 configured loop deck 3. And everywhere you found that it is taken remote access by admin with this IP address. So we are able to configure here 3 router at the same time. Okay. Now let's continue with that question and doubt that every time we don't have 3 router, obviously, right? So what we need to do? So let me save new file. Instead of for loop, we'll use while loop. Multi-device with while. Lab number 8. So now focus. We'll not use the for loop because every time we don't have 3 devices. What is the meaning of while loop? Until the condition satisfied, we'll keep running. It will. You can run 1,000 times also. 1,000 device configure, or you can stop at the one also. Only one configure. So instead of for, let's say while, and here make it easy. That some variable I need to verify. You know that condition we need to match. So what condition we need to use here? If anyone remember the while loop, tell me what is the format. Here we need to write condition.
While some variable is less than or equal to or some condition.
Comparison in short. Okay.
Yeah.
So variable, let's say here I'm using again variable name v, and again I'm taking same. Okay. And is not equal to or equal to whatever condition we need to put. Okay. So how we put the condition? So now understand, focus, because in programming logic is important. Otherwise, this typing concept you do 2-3 time practice, it will be easy to remember. But logic, it is not remember concept. It is the logic you need to run while you configure. So what I do here, I'll put some condition that while vn is not equal to stop. What is stop? Let's say some input. Now what I try to do here, okay, so understand here by default, you know that when we are configuring any while configuration, we require this variable any empty value. So here I will configure that vn is equal to empty space. Right now vn is storing only space, and I run the condition that while vn is not equal to stop, keep running. And then what happens in the last? After that, in the loop, I will put one input, row input, that this, okay, let me print one extra message. So it is easy for you. Print this device configuration done. And now it is asking for the input. What input? Asking the vn value. Okay, here what I will use? Type stop, or let's say capital, whatever you matching. Let's say what we do, vn dot upper. So whatever they will type, we don't know. You know that user can type anything. So whatever user type, it will match with the upper. Type stop. If you done with all device configuration, or let's say what I do, not make it here. It is also I can put in the print. It is easy for you actually now. Type stop if you want to, if you done with the whole configuration, and print what else, press any key, whatever. So what happened? Now it is asking for the input. So whatever we type here, if we type anything, what happened? That anything will not match here, and it will keep running. And let's say 1 device, 2 device, 5 device, 10 device, whatever. Now let's say configuration done. So what I do, I will type stop here. That means vn value becomes stop, condition match, and script will stop. But here I want to ask to you that this condition is right, that it is not equal to stop or it is equal to stop. What we need to configure? If you have clear the logic concept, then otherwise script is right. These all things. And this is all extra thing for the user information purpose. Otherwise, directly you can, without this information, you can use this script. This all print statement just for the better format. Anyone tell me this condition is right? Okay, colon is missing, but condition is right or not? I want to compare with equal to, or I want to compare with not equal to.
This is right, I think.
This is right. Okay. So I save the new file, right? Why new file is not visible here? It is showing automatically. I save separately. No? While I not save while. No, while I save. So why this name is not showing? Okay. So now let's run this script. You can see welcome to automation. There everything you already know. Type the username admin and type the password is A123. So type the remote device IP address to take telnet. So let's say again 10.1.1. Sorry, 10.10.10.1. Only IP I want to put. Which interface you want to configure? Let's say loopback 111 IP address. So let's say 11.1.1.1 to 55.255.250.0. So configuration done, and you can see we see the message. This device configuration done. Type stop if you done with all device configuration. Else press any key. If I type anything and continue, it will continue and asking the new device. And now let's say 10.10.10.2. Which interface you want to configure? Let's say loopback 2222. IP address, let's say 22.2.2.2.2. So this configuration done. Again, I get the message. This device configuration done. Type stop if you done with all device configuration. Else press any key. So now I'm typing stop. Script stop. Who are asking doubt that confusion solve? Who was asking that doubt? I'm just confirming. Let me confirm that confusion solve. All the clear. Write down clear in the chat box.
Yeah, it's solved and good. Actually, my internet connection is bad. That's why previously I was.
No worry, no worry. Okay, so now understand. Previously, we were using for loop, and I already told in the Friday session that when we use the loop, when the number of range fixed for loop. Otherwise, if you want that number of loop is not fixed until the condition follow, I want that loop is running. So I will use the while, and I put some message here. So now this script you can done 1,000 device also. It is your choice.
Sir, can you tell us the logic that bn.opport not equal to logic? Why you are using not equal to that?
What is the logic? Meaning that until this message, sorry, this variable value is not equal to stop, you can keep running. And when what happen? Whatever value I type by default, what by default empty. That means what? Condition not satisfied. And that's why this loop will asking and this loop is running. And then in the last we see that message. And again it is asking for the input. Whatever that new value it will type, it will put store in the VN. So again it will check that VN value. So if I type anything else, so what happens if I type anything else? It will not match, and again it will run. But if I type stop, so that stop will match here, loop will stop.
Okay. Got it, sir.
Got it? And that's why I told you, in programming, logic is important. Otherwise, this kind of written concept you can remember by revision. But logic, we need to run every time. Okay? So if you want to ask anything till now, you can ask. So we now understand how to configure, how to take telnet. We added how to asking the password with the hidden character. We'll do the customized script with the all. I put the variable. So it is asking the IP address, it is asking the subnet mask and everything. Which interface you want to configure, which IP address you want to configure, everything I done. And then I also run the loop. So now let's see if I want to configure the OSPF. What I need to do? I need to configure IP address and then I need to configure the OSPF. So if read, EIZ, whatever, okay, I'm just taking any one protocol because you know that. How you type the command in router, same type you need to type here with the write. Whatever command you want to type, that command you can put here in the script, it will become automatic. So now let's say what I want separate script for configuring OSPF. So let's say file, save as, network automation and OSPF.
So when we configure the router using Python, so does it also save the configuration, or we have to go to the router and save the configuration? I mean,
No, obviously, right now why it will save? What command we writing, that is affecting. In real router also what happen? If you type only command, it will only run in the running configuration. If you want to save, you need to use the write command. So just one line here, simple. The TV dot write, and here what write. Well, here because whenever you type the end, you will get in the privilege mode. Then write, and then again /n, and then exit. So it will save simple things. Now, no need to confuse with automation or Python. Simple. What I try to tell you, till now, whatever you're running the command manually in the beginning, then we know that we can run the command in Notepad, then copy paste. So now, third option, we know that we can run command here with the write function, and it will run. So whatever command you want to run, type in this write function, it will run. Okay. So now, let's say I want to configure now OSPF. That means what? Here, it will asking for the username and password, that is understand. Then remote device IP address, that is also okay. But now we require interface, we require IP address, okay, and then we require OSPF also. So right now, according this, let's say IP address is already there. But if you want to configure other, then you can configure. But after this multiple practice, you know that we have everyone looked at. We have everywhere looked at. Okay. So what I want, I don't want to create now extra IP address. I just want to configure the OSPF command. So this is required every time. They take a username, configure the username, password, then asking for the password, then enable password, then configure terminal. From here, command will change. And in that also, end and exit still we require. So what we do? TV dot write, and in configure terminal, what we need to do? Router OSPF 1, and again /n. Then we get into that mode. If you want to specify separate network, then you can write separate command. Otherwise, right now for easy to understand, I will use this command, network, any network, and this with the area 0. Right now I'm doing this. Okay, otherwise you know that we can type every network separately, but this will also work. And then what? And exit. So what happened? Now this will able to configure the OSPF. So here we not require this IP address, only OSPF. So what happened? It will asking for the username and password. Okay, then it will asking for the IP address. So whatever IP I will type, they will take the telnet and they will go to the router OSPF, run this command, then end and exit. Simple things. So save this and run Python. So you can see username admin, password A123. Type the IP address of 10.10.10.1. So now it is not asking anything because what? Automatically OSPF will configure. What happened? Something missing? Something missing, then only script will stop, otherwise not.
I think network area, after that you did not put /n.
Network area, oh sorry, yeah, enter. So end command will stop here. Yeah, I missed that /n. So what happened? This command will run and after that automatically end and enter. So that command will stop. Small mistake. R1. So when the script is stopped, what we need to do? If let's say this script will stop, what you can do?
Control C.
Control C is actually our Windows command concept, not a Python. If I press Control C, nothing happens.
Control is set. Control is set.
Control Z. No.
It open code. Close quote.
Hmm?
Exit open bracket and close bracket.
CMD.
Yeah.
That is good stuff. CMD, okay. But on that case, what happened? In background, our connection is open.
Double dot.
So users, you can see here connection is open since 2 minutes. Dot dot. I'm not typing anything here because it is not asking any input. So understand here, it is a while loop. It will keep running until the condition finish. If you remember when we configure, okay, when we configure what happened, it will keep going. So on that time we have Python idle. We can able to stop that. But here it will not work. Okay, what else you can do one thing? You can close the connection from the router.
What if we go and edit that and see?
Yeah, we can edit that. We can edit, but right now what? My connection is here stuck, nothing else. File we can edit. File is separate. You can hear it is here. Okay. Anyone know the command? If I want to stop this connection, that I found someone else is taking my remote access, I want to stop this connection. What I do? Anyone know the command?
Clear telnet something.
Clear?
Telnet.
Option. Let's try. After clear, we have multiple options. Let me show you. We have no, we don't have any telnet option. Clear connection. No, we don't have clear connection also. What is that?
Clear line something.
And then you can put the number. Active network connection. Which connection is active? If you remember, it is 2. Line number 2 is running. So disconnect 2. Invalid connection. Why? Why? The number of an active network connection. Yes, these are 2. Clear 2. And line with device 0. Why it is not clearing? So disconnecting. Okay, what is this user? So version. It is 12.4. Then disconnect. That is the command only, disconnect. And then number of an active network connection.
Is it clear line VTI2?
Clear line.
Line VTI2.
Okay, this is new. New in the sense for this concept. Otherwise, this clear line for the, we have like terminal server. Then also we can use that line concept clear line. But here this connection is not working already. Now again, you can show users is still there. That means image is you. This command connection name is in already. It is still running.
But I think the idle time is not getting incremented. It is still showing 646, I guess.
Okay. It is increasing.
Okay.
It's VTA2, no? It's VTA0, I hope. Correct. VTA0, not 2, I hope.
Let's try that also. So the 2 is what? Yeah, obviously, if we are taking one connection that is starting with 0, that is okay. But why it is showing 2? Okay, so it's done. So here you can see. Now control C is working. Whatever control Z, control Z, what we are spacing, now that is showing here. And where we are stuck, so in background that telnet library are running that something. So no need to worry for this. Okay, because this is what the backend pre-configured data. But we find here our mistake, that is we missed the /n. Enter and then end. Okay, save, run. Username admin. Password is A123 10.10.10.1. So it's running. You can see OSPF done. Press any key. Okay, anything. Then again type the remote device. So 10.10.10.2. OSPF configure. Anything. Continue. 10.10.10.3. Continue. And now I want to stop. So let's say stop. And now you can see here we require the neighborship up. Let's wait and check. So IP route. Okay, now OSPF neighborship up here. Here also OSPF neighborship up and router 3. Wait, now it is up. Okay, now you can check again router 1. So IP route, OSPF up, OSPF configure. So now the rest of thing is very easy and simple. Okay, what you need to do, whatever command you want to run, make it here. Above all thing is you need to just keep it for taking telnet and putting the ID password. And suppose you need to run this command, so you can make a variable here, and here you can take the variable that enter the network which you want to advertise in the OSPF, and that variable you put here, so that network will advertise. Previously, if you remember, we asking for the IP address. Now here what we can do, we can ask for the network name, or let's say network detail. And what? Here I will put the command. Okay. And let's say here what I do, I will change the message that it is not for automation. Welcome to OSPF configuration program. Just make it good format. And here row input. And then type the network ID and wildcard must to advertise network in OSPF. It is yours, okay? You don't need to write this long thing. I'm just provide training here, so I try to make it easy for you, nothing else. Okay. Then what? Now remove these things. Instead of that, here space quotation plus and network detail. And then plus space area 0 /n. So what we type here, that network detail and ID command, we will put here.
Here, loop within a loop concept will work.
Yeah, obviously loop control also, because it's not like every time we need to advertise only one network. So in that also we can create second loop, that not only one network but multiple. So how? So this script, okay, let me run that script, then I will go for the second loop, so it is easy for you. Save. Just let me verify, because while loop again stuck. So network detail, yeah, it will taking input. In that here, if you want to specify the format, then here also /n. Then network detail, it will store. And here, go to the router history, network detail, and area 0. Yeah, okay. You can also use that. Which area you want to put, you can use that here. Let's say remove this, and here area ID plus. So what happened? Network keyword. Then whatever we type network here, it will put here. Then area keyword, and whatever area ID it will asking here, let's say area ID. Then again you can use row input. It is yours, okay? I'm just taking customization option, but it is your choice which you want to use. Which area you want to advertise? In which area? Let's say the grammar. In which area you want to advertise this network asking. So now what happened? Asking for the network and asking for the area. According to that, this will specify. So save that and run that. So username admin, password A123, telnet, let's say 10.10.10.3. It's not like starting with one, it is your choice. Type the network ID and wildcard mask to advertise network in OSPF. And you can see here, welcome to the OSPF configuration program. So we know that it is OSPF configuration program. I want to configure advertise, let's say this network. In the 3, you remember, we running this command at 3.0.0.0 with the wildcard mask 0.255.255.255.0. Like this. In which area I want to configure? Let's say I want to specify in area 1. I'm just taking random thing. So you can see this command run in background. Router OSPF 1, network 3.0.0.0 with the 0.255 area 1 and end and exit. Type stop if you don't, I don't want to configure anything else. Let's say stop. Only one time and stop. Macro program will stop. And you can check in the router 3. Do show running section router OSPF. So you can see one network we advertised previously, and this network now is advertised with the area ID. Now make it loop. It's not like every time only one network we need to advertise. So what I do, use this variable here before this, because first it will ask for the variable and then it will put in the location. And this I want that it will ask multiple times. That means I want that this will run multiple times. So again, I will first explain with the for loop, then again while loop. So just do the inside and then here for, and let's say here network ID, whatever, you know that it is only for simple counting concept. In range, let's say I want to advertise 3 network and colon. So now what happened? First it will asking for the simple username password, then it will try to take telnet, then it will go to the configure terminal, then OSPF, and now here it will stop and it will asking that network detail and wildcard mask and area, then it will write. Then again come, it will ask new network, it will write. Then again come, it will write, and then it will end. So let's say file, save as OSPF and loop, NID loop, and that is we can count as a left hand. So just let me verify anything missing. No, this is only asking for that. So here /n available or not, there is no issue. This will write. Save, and now what I do, let's run that. Where is that? Okay, here asking for the username admin, password A123. Type the remote disk. Let's say now I'm targeting 10.10.10.2. So type the network ID in wildcard mask to advertise the network. Let's say I want to configure this first. Let's say 2221. Router 2 is dead. So let's say I'm using here 22.1.1.0 with the wildcard mask. In which area? Let's say area 2. Again, you can say type the network ID in wildcard mask. So let's say 22.2.2.0 with the wildcard mask. Which area? 2. Again asking. So let's say 22.3.3.0 with the wildcard mask. Which area? Let's say 2. And you can see now it is exit. So you can see these 3 command will run 22, 1, 2, and 3 with the area 2 and exit. If you stop, yeah, I know not to configure anything, stop. And now here, again, if you have same doubt that sir, it is not every time that 3. So instead of that, you can put the while loop like this. What? While, and that same what? NID is not equal to whatever word you can put here. That condition you need to specify. Here you can see it is my intention. I use the stop. You can use anything. Let's say done. I'm using here done. And I want to match with the uppercase, so I will use NID dot upper is not equal to done. It will keep running. And here what? I will use the print statement simple. That type done to go ahead. Else type anything. Simple. It's your choice. What kind of statement you are putting, and then taking input what NID and taking as a row input. Simple. So what happened? Here starting, this is while loop. In that, it will configure this, go to the router OSPF. And now it is asking for the network ID. How many network you want to configure? It is your choice. Then, until you type done, it will keep running.
Just some doubts. Actually, there is a on the behind screen. There is router OSPF one is there, and also the network is also printed. But could you please specifically tell me where is that command for printing? I mean, printing it is tv.read.r. Can you just tell how it is working? I mean,
See,
for example, if it is while it is added with semicolon, it understands that it is going for a loop. So it starts a loop, but before that there is tv.write is there. So it write the router OSPF one. Okay. After that, there is no print command for printing the network. So that's
no,
why.
here we are not opening any file now. We are already taking the telnet with this.
No. I'm just talking about this. See, on the back screen, black screen, there is router OSPF one is there, correct? See that, okay, this one. Can you take the other screen also?
Okay.
On this below the while loop, there is tv.write is there.
Okay.
It is writing that one, and this is reading on the bottom. Print tv.read all, correct? It is printing on that one.
Yes.
After that, there it is going to the while loop again, and after that the print command for the this one network 22.1.1.0. This is not mentioned. That is the one I'm asking.
Okay.
You got the point? I mean, why it was coming and it is printing. If it is a tv.read.all, it is a tv.variable. That variable is printing tv, correct? TV, confused with that.
Okay. But still not getting actually your point. That your question, I understand that tv.write is here. Because what? Actually, the entire concept is open the telnet library with the TV variable, telnet library. So whatever you want to write inside the telnet connection, we use always TV. And this different variable for the different looking concept. If you asking still anything else again, just tell me again. I try to solve.
Actually, if you check the screen, I mean, a router OSP phone is there, and after that network is there. Could you just slowly tell me, I mean, how the printing is done? I mean, if you go for a loop, it will be easy. First, it goes to the tv.write, and it is
Yeah.
writing.
First, it will go here, write username and password tv.write
Yeah,
here.
that one
Okay.
is it's storing in notes from the variable. Okay. After that, it is going to the tv.write, and it is writing to router.ospf1. It is shown on the black screen behind it.
Yeah.
And after it is going to while loop, and we are inputting that details. And after that, where is the command for the print? This I mean, on the back side, it was that network 221.1.0 is there.
This is here now. For this line, it is typing because of this line.
That is not right. TV to that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. That's why actually what I do, I start from the beginning and that I will use that command same just with the tab. Previously, what it is the single command. Otherwise, here. You can see in this and compare this and this side by side. First word here, TV command here directly that open the router OSPF1 and that command we are writing here. But now we know that this is the network advertise command. So maybe we require multiple network. So this one command I just put in the loop here. So sequence is like this, going to router and configure terminal and OSPF. Then what? Then it will not directly write the command, it will open the loop. And whatever you write here, network detail and that, it will write in this tv.write. And whatever in tv.write, that only run in the router command. This print statement or whatever other print statement, that will not affect our routing configuration. Routing can be only done by this TV variable, telnet variable. So whatever you write with the tv.write, that only configure in the device. Rest of all other things is just for our use. Make it easy. Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So now you can see here. Now I put the while loop instead of 3 because every time it's not like 3. Sometime other things. So what I do, I will make it this in the while loop. That use this variable, it will asking for the network detail and area ID. So network detail it will asking to the user, area ID also asking to the user, and then it will just verify that type done to go ahead. Otherwise, type anything else. and then /n. So now here, what we do, let's run that. The username admin, password is A123. Type the IP address of the telnet, let's say 10.10.10.1. What happened? NID.upper. Okay. In while loop, I told you first we need to false the condition. We need to false the condition. Then it will check. So let's say here also I will specify that what NID by default nothing, empty. Then it will not match the conditions. So it will go into the loop. Again asking the new value, save. And then again run. Username admin, password A123, 10.10.10.1. So type the network ID and wildcard mask. So let's say we have 11.1.1.1 with 0 with wildcard mask. In which area? Let's say area 1. You can see type done to go ahead, else type anything. I want to configure extra, so I type anything. So again it will ask me for the type network ID. So let's say it's 11.2.2.0 with the wildcard mask. In which area? Let's say area 1. Again, let's say I want to configure one more network. So again I type anything. So it will continue. Okay. And again, let's say 11.3.3.3. Let's say this is all 255. Like this I want to advertise. In which area? Let's say area 3, different. And type done to go ahead. So done. Now I don't want to configure anything. So done is there. Type the network ID, welcome. Again, it is running while.
After upper, there is a parenthesis missing.
Bracket missing. Save. Okay. So it will keep running. So let me verify done capital. It is in the loop. Okay. So the last time, fast forward. So you can see one by one we'll getting error. As I told you, even the expert or me or you as a fresher, whatever, there are mistakes because we are doing customization. Otherwise, I have ready-made script here. You can see I can directly copy paste and try to train you. But I'm taking in front of you. So let's the username again, admin A123. Type the IP address, let's say 10.10.10.1. Then network ID. Now I will take only one. Okay, let's say 11.1.2.3 with the old 255. In area, let's say 123. Done. Yes, done. Press any key or any other device. Type the remote device. Another I don't want to do that. So here you can see 11.123 and area 123. You can verify here in router 1, 2, so running and section router or OSPF. So we have that command, and you can see all the command also. Upper is not matching, so whole thing is configured. So these are OSPF. Now you can see our course syllabus. Not here, here. With this library, what we need to do? Create a loopback on the router. We done that. Create a VLAN of switch. So what you need to do? Just you can type the switch IP address and run the VLAN command. Assign the interface IP address. Configure VTP or DTP. So whatever you want to configure. Okay. This whole thing is just you need to type that command. Rest of thing is same. Okay, it's not like sir BGP stuff, OSPF stuff. No doubt. According networking, it is a tough. Or OSPF easy or EHRP tough or RIP easy, whatever. But here there are no any networking concept. Here the concept is what automation. So whatever command you type, that we can configure. So this whole thing actually is same. So whatever the other topic if you want to do practice, you can do practice. If there are any error, you can send me that file, sir. Here some missing. Please guide me or whatever. That this whole thing, it is your practice. You can configure EHRP at home, RIP at home, or switch VLAN, whatever. You can just type the command. Tomorrow we learn this. How can we take the backup? Okay, and then we learn about the SSH. But SSH I will not train here because in this telnet library SSH is tough because this is specially created for telnet. So SSH will continue with the different library. Here it is easy. Okay, so tomorrow we learn about backup and other things, and then we'll start the new library. in today's session, any question, any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, I will just stop the recording here.